bench press is just like any other horizontal pressing exercise that we do, like the push-up or the floor press, and that we want to follow the same principles of movement, keeping the shoulders packed in, making sure that as we come down, we're having our hands in at a good place, keeping the elbows pushed out for the most part. So what I'm going to do with the bench press is kind of show you how, some tricks to kind of get the most out of the bench press, and show you how some of those things apply. But the take-home message is just because we're on the bench press doesn't mean that you move any differently than what you've learned from our push-ups and other exercises that have preceded this exercise. So make sure you're applying those lessons. So with the bench press, one of the things you want to do, make sure that you sit down at the end of the bench so that when you lay down, you don't smack your head into the bar. Sounds obvious, but as a trainer, I've seen people do it. So make sure that you got plenty of room to lean back and not have your head come anywhere near smacking the bar. When you get yourself set up, laying down, you want your eyes lined up underneath the bar. That means that you're far enough back to where when you're doing your reps that you don't have to worry about the bar hitting anything. And so it's just a good position. You don't want to be too far out because then you don't have good leverage to get unracked if you don't have a training partner. But you don't want to be too close in because you're going to end up smacking something as you're doing a rep. So having your eyeballs right underneath the bar is a good thing. So what you're going to do, get your heels in. Remember, the bench press is a total body exercise, just like the push-ups. So you want to make sure that you got your heels able to drive into the ground. You're able to get your glutes tight, get your abs tight. You want to get those shoulders packed in, nice and tight. Find a good hand position on the bar. It's kind of similar to your hand position with the deadlift in that you're going to get your thumbs on the edge of the knurling or to kind of use that as your hand position on the bar. So once you got your hand position, shoulders packed in, you got your glutes tight, your abs tight. With this, you really want to watch. With a good bench press, we're not power lifters, so we're not trying to lift as much weight as possible. So doing the arch thing doesn't really work for us. We've got to keep the core nice and long and lean. Never compromise that at the expense of trying to move some more weight. So whenever you're set, got everything set, abs drawn in, glutes nice and tight, driving those heels into the ground, you're going to unrack the bar, get it set. As you bring the bar down, there's a couple things you want to do. Feel like you're trying to pull the bar apart in the middle. That's going to help engage the lats and get that upper back nice and strong. And as you come down, keep your elbows flared out until the very end when they can tuck in, and then drive back up. So elbows stay out. At the very bottom, they can tuck in just a little bit, and then drive it back up. So pulling the bar apart, keeping the elbows out, elbows will tuck in, drive back up, and when you're done with your reps, bring the bar in, bring it down, and you're all set. So that's how you execute a good bench press. You want to make sure that you're, like I said, you're not arching up, we're not compromising that form in order to move more weight. Think about, you're not pushing the bar away from you, you're driving yourself down into the bench. You know, if you're driving yourself down into the bench, you're pulling that bar apart, you're going to keep that upper back nice and strong and make sure that you're keeping it engaged. So that's basically it. That's how you execute a good bench press.